Okay, class. Good day. Okay, so this time, investment property. Okay, so for this topic, our references. Okay, so the main reference is PAS 40. So that is the standard on investment property. Okay, on fair value measurements, and PFRS 13. So again basta meron tayong topic na required or allowed to be measured at fair value, yan ang ating reference. Okay, PFRS 13. Now, related interpretations. PIC Q&A 2018-11. So, classification of land by a real estate developer. 2017-10, yung separation of property and classification as investment property. And then yung 2017-06, accounting for collectors items. Okay? So again don't forget our e-issues template, yung NRM TPD. And in relation to the nature, okay, number 1, definition of investment property. As defined in PAS 40, investment property is property, specifically, ano yung property na yon? Land or building or part of a building or both. Okay? So, held by the owner or by the lessee as a right of use asset. Okay, so of course, yung leases, discuss pa natin yan separately. Okay, so in particular, para saan yung investment property na yan? So, ang sagot dyan, letter A. Held to earn rentals or for capital appreciation or both. Okay, so number 1, letter A. Okay, so actually, as discussed previously, ang land and building actually pwedeng PPE, which is the usual case. Pwede rin ito, investment property. So, pwede rin inventory. Okay, so primarily yun nga depending on usage. So, ito yung summary. Okay. So kapag kayang land and or building na yan ay held to earn rentals or for capital appreciation or both, then investment property yan. So kung yan ay owner occupied, that is for use in the production or supply of goods or services or for administrative purposes. Yan yung tinatawag na owner occupied. So PPE yan. So kung yan naman ay held for sale in the ordinary course of business, then inventory yan. So ito yan. So yung letter B, PPE. So yung letter C, inventory. Kung yan naman ay held for sale in accordance with PFRS 5, yan yung tinatawag na non-current asset held for sale. Okay, so kaya again ang land and building pwedeng inventory, pwedeng PPE, investment property. Okay non-current asset held for sale. So primarily depending on usage. Okay, so but of course kapag silent, nakita mo lang land, nakita mo building, usually PPE. So kaya kailangan specify sa problem. Okay? So kung yan kung anong usage niyan. So para ma-classify properly. Pero pag silent, usually PPE, ang land and building. Okay, so to highlight yung definition na yan ng investment property, so doon tayo sa problem number 2. Okay, include, exclude problem. So emphasis on the nature of investment property. So the requirement, total amount that would normally be reported as investment property. Okay? So, include, exclude. As usual, pag excluded, specify natin yung line item niya. So, anong classification kung hindi siya investment property? Okay. Land held for long-term capital appreciation include. Yan. So again, ang investment property held to earn rentals or for capital appreciation or both. While being held to earn rentals, also for capital appreciation. Land held for, highlight natin to, undecided future use. So kapag undecided, undetermined, unspecified, so parang bumili ng land, anong gagawin dyan? Hindi pa alam. Okay, so kapag undecided pa, okay, most likely yan for capital appreciation. So, include. So, pag undecided ha, undetermined o kaya unspecified, ang assumption ng PAS 40 dyan for capital appreciation yan. Kaya include. Building leased out under an operating lease, include. Building leased out under a finance lease. So, i-discuss pa natin yan pagdating natin sa leases. Yung sa part ng lessor, merong operating, merong finance. So, kapag finance lease, i-recognize siya ng lessor. So, exclude. So, hindi na yan asset ng lessor. Di-recognize na yan. Okay. Vacant building held to be leased out under operating lease, include. Property held for use in production or supply of goods or services, exclude. PPE yan. For admin purposes, exclude. PPE. Property held for sale in the ordinary course of business, exclude. Inventory. Property held in the process of construction or development for sale. So eventually for sale, exclude. Inventory. Property held for future development and subsequent use as owner-occupied. So eventually owner-occupied. Okay? Exclude. PPE. Property occupied by employees, exclude. PPE yan. And take note ha, it doesn't matter ha, whether the employees pay rent or not. So nagbabayad man ng renta yung mga employees na yan, it doesn't matter. And also, it doesn't matter kung yung binabayarang renta ay at market or below market rent. So same lang ang treatment. PPE yan. Owner-occupied property awaiting disposal, exclude. Now, kung mag-qualify siya, pwede siyang non-current asset held for sale. Okay, so if it will qualify as NCA, held for sale. Okay, so property that is being constructed or developed for use as an investment property. So eventually, investment property siya, include. Okay, so by the way trivia, doon sa original version ng IAS 40, kapag under construction pa, hindi pa pwedeng investment property. So dati ina-account muna yan as PPE, tapos once completed, saka lang nililipat sa reclassify as investment property. Okay, so pero ngayon, na-amend na yon. Okay, so even under construction, considered na siya as investment property. Existing investment property that is being redeveloped for continuing use as investment property. So existing na siya, dire-redevelop lang, so include. So whether yan ay existing, dire-redevelop, o kaya eventually investment property, kino-construct pa, investment property yan. Equipment held to earn rentals under operating lease, exclude. Ang investment property, land lang o kaya building. Yan, equipment yan. Okay, so exclude. PPE yan. Okay, so kasi ang PPE pwede rin for rental to others other than land and building. Okay? Okay, so number 2, total to be reported as investment property. Number 2, letter C. Okay, now nagkaroon nga ng clarification ang PIC kung paano ika-classify ng isang real estate company yung kanyang land. Okay, and that is PIC Q&A 2018-11. So ito yung problem number 3. So in accordance with PIC Q&A 2018-11, which land should be classified as investment property? So let's see. Again, we need to check kung ano yung purpose dyan, anong intention dyan ng entity dyan sa land na yan. And take note, ang entity ay isang real estate company. Okay? So let's see. Land A. So the entity has plans to construct and develop this parcel of land as residential subdivision, highlight mo na, eventually for sale. So as approved by the entity's board of directors. So yung land na yan, eventually for sale yan. So exclude yan. Inventory yan. So eventually for sale. Okay, ito namang land B. Okay, the entity has plans to construct and develop the parcel of land as residential subdivision. Ganun din eh, for sale. Okay, so na-approve na rin ng board of directors. Ang kaibahan lang sa land A, okay, so nag-commence na. Okay, yung preparation of the master plan. Okay, so kaya lang wala pang physical okay, construction. Dito naman, okay, sa land B, hindi pa nag-start yung yung preparation of the master plan, detailing the plans. So it doesn't matter kasi ang intention diyan ay ipagbili yan, gawing subdivision yan tapos ipagbibili. Okay? So kaya yung land A at land B exclude, parehong inventory yan. So, kailan nga maging investment property? Kapag for capital appreciation o kaya still undecided, undetermined o kaya unspecified pa. Okay, ito decided na eh. Doon sa land A and B. Okay, gagawing subdivision yan. Inventory yan. Okay, yun na nga, yung letter C. The entity intends to develop the land into, ayun pala, in-specify gagawing commercial center eh. Okay, tapos eventually for lease. Okay, so include kasi eventually investment property yan. Ito namang land D. Okay, so ito yung binili yung land tapos hindi alam ano bang gagawin dyan. So wala pang concrete plan. So again, still undecided, undetermined, unspecified pa yung future use niyan. So for capital appreciation yan. So land D, include. Okay, so number 3, delta, C and B. So again yung A and B, ano yan? Inventory. So eventually for sale yan in the ordinary course of business. Okay, now classification issues. Okay, so other classification issues. Number 4. This is in relation to partial own use. So partly rented tapos partly owner occupied. Okay, so paano ba ang classification ng property na yan? So ito yung summary. Okay, so regarding partial own use. Okay, if the property can be sold or leased out separately, then dapat i-account yan separately. So that is yung owner-occupied portion, PPE yan. Okay? Tapos yung rented portion, yon investment property. So kung kayang ma-account separately, i-account separately. Okay? If not, if the property cannot be sold or leased out separately, then we need to assess which portion is more significant. If the owner-occupied portion is insignificant, so the property entirely is investment property. So meron mang owner-occupied, insignificant naman. So investment yan. Pero pag yung owner-occupied ay more significant, then the entire property is PP. So, kung hindi kayang ma-separate, okay? Pero kung kaya namang i-separate, then i-account dapat separately. So, based on that, A is a correct statement. So, ang hinahanap incorrect. So, if portions can be sold or leased out separately, dapat i-account separately. Tama din yung letter B. So, yung part that is rented out, investment property yun. Incorrect, letter C. If the portions cannot be sold or list out separately, then the property is investment property. If, yan. So, if the owner-occupied portion is insignificant. Okay, so kapag insignificant yung owner-occupied portion, tama yan, investment property. Pero kung yung owner-occupied portion is more significant, then TPE siya. So, C is incorrect. Okay. And in relation dun sa separation nga nung owner-occupied at nung rented, nagkaroon din ng clarification dyan ang PIC. And that is PIC Q&A 2017-10. So which statement is correct regarding yun nga, yung separation of property and classification as investment property. Okay, so tama itong letter A. To separately account for the portions of a property, the property must be in a state and condition to enable it to be disposed of separately at the end of the reporting period. So para masabing ma-account yan separately, okay, so ibig sabihin yung identified yung portion na pwedeng rentahan, okay, or eventually pagbibili, at identified yung portion na owner-occupied. So clearly identified dapat. Okay, tapos nandun na siya sa state and condition. Okay, so na pwede na siyang ibenta separately at the end of the reporting period. So tama din itong letter B. If the property requires subdivision before the portions could be disposed of separately, then hindi pa pwedeng ma-account yan separately. So those parts are not accounted for separately until such subdivision occurs. So kaya hangga't hindi pa nasa-subdivide, so dun ulit tayo papasok sa cannot be separated. So i-assess sino yung more significant. Pag more significant yung owner-occupied, PPE. Pag more significant yung rented, okay, so then okay, investment property. So para ma-account separately kasi dapat separable . So identified yung portion, okay, na for rental o kaya eventually for sale, at saka yung rent owner occupied. Okay? So A and B are correct statements as mentioned in the PIC guidance. Okay, so of course, wala namang problema sa problem solving purposes. Specify naman yan sa problem kung kayang ma-account separately or not. And then, usually, ina-identify yung portion na owner-occupied at yung portion na rented. Okay, another classification issue. Okay, so number 6. So yung entity, okay, nagpo-provide ng tinatawag na ancillary services. So which statement is incorrect. So ito ulit yung summary. So regarding provision of ancillary services. Now, the classification of the property will depend on the significance of the services provided. If the services provided are insignificant, so merely incidental lang, okay, katulad ng example niyan, yung security, maintenance. So for example, sa mga apartment buildings, merong security, merong maintenance na pinoprovide yung lessor. So since considered yan as insignificant component of the agreement, so the property is investment. Ang negosyo kasi dito ng entity, nagpaparenta, hindi siya nagre-render ng service. Merely incidental lang yung provision ng services. Okay? So kaya yung investment, rather yung property, investment. Pero kapag yung pinoprovide na services ay more significant, example, sa case ng owned and managed hotel. So sa case ng owner-managed hotel, ginagamit yung property in rendering the services. So the property is not investment, PPE siya. So used, okay, in rendering services. So kaya ano ba yung property kung may pinoprovide na services? So again, consider the significance of the services provided. Kaya tama itong letter A. So, consider nga yung significance of the services provided. Tama din itong letter B. So, kapag yung kapag yung services provided ay insignificant, then pwedeng i-treat yung entire property as what? Investment. Incorrect, letter C. Where the services provided are more significant. Yun nga, in the case of owner-managed hotel, ginagamit yung property in rendering services. So, dapat yan PPE, not investment property. Okay, so 6. C. So, yan ang mga classification issues, no? Okay, so paano ba i-classify yung land at building na yan? Okay, so merong partial own use, merong ancillary services. Okay, so next, number 7. So ito na. Okay, illustration. Include, exclude. Okay, so an entity's properties included the following items. So include, exclude. Okay, first item, building held for admin purposes and leased out under operating lease. So ito na yung partial own use. Partly rented and partly owner occupied. 60% is for admin purposes. So in this case, identified yung admin. So identified din yung rented. So yung 60% dahil admin yan, PPE yan. Okay? So yung investment property, 40%. So get 40% of 20 million. So that is, okay, 8 million. Include 8 million. Tapos yung, okay, 60% PPE. So include 8 million. So yung 12 million, lagyan ng note, PPE. Next, another building which cannot be sold or leased out separately, used in the production of goods and around 2% of the area being leased out to canteen operators. So, insignificant lang yung pinaparentahan. So, exclude. PPE siya. Okay? So, the rented portion is merely insignificant. Yan. So, around 2% lang. Next, building leased out under an operating lease. The entity supplies security and maintenance services. So, provision of ancillary services. So, as noted earlier, yung maintenance, yung security, incidental lang yan. So, include. So, ang negosyo talaga dyan, nagpaparenta. So, incidental lang na nagpo-provide ng security, yan, maintenance services. Hotel owned and managed, as noted earlier. Kapag yung hotel owned and managed yan, so more significant dyan yung pinoprovide na services. Exclude PPE yan. Okay. And then, building being leased out to a subsidiary. So, the entity is a parent entity. So, meron siyang subsidiary. So, yung building na yan, pinaparentahan dun sa subsidiary. So, ang tawag dyan, intra-company rental. So, another classification problem yan. So, ito yung summary ha, sa intra-company rentals. Okay. So, depende kung anong FS ang ipe-prepare. In the separate FS of the lessor, okay, so separate entity, si parent kay subsidiary, then investment property yan. Pero sa consolidated FS, iisa lang. Single economic entity concept, iisa lang si parent and subsidiary. So considered as owner, occupied siya, PPE. So kaya kailangan i-check, ano ba yung ipiprepare? Conso ba or separate? So in this case, okay, ang kailangan separate FS. So dahil separate FS, include yan. Investment property yan in the separate FS. Okay, so yan ang mga classification issues. Partial own use, provision of ancillary services, and yung intra-company rentals. So total to be reported as investment properties. Number 7, letter C. Okay. Next, another issue. Okay, so meron na namang clarification na ginawa ang PIC regarding collectors items. So paano bang accounting dyan sa mga collectors items na yan? Okay, so that's PIC Q&A 2017-6. So in accordance with this guidance, which of the following collectors items, example nga paintings, yan, mga rare items, vintage items, yan, classic cars, can be accounted for in accordance with PAS 40. So meaning, okay, so for accounting purposes, pwedeng gamiting reference yung PAS 40. So which one? A, no. Collectors items for administrative or aesthetic. Yan, aesthetic. Okay, aesthetic purposes. So, for admin purposes, aesthetic purposes. So, ano yan? PPE yan. So, ang pwedeng gamitin dyan, okay, PAS 16, not PAS 40. B, collectors items for short-term investment purposes. The entity also trades these collectors items in the ordinary course of business. Ay, pinagbibili pala. So, no. So, ang pwedeng i-apply dyan, PAS2, inventories. So, ang sagot dyan, letter C. Collectors items for long-term investment purposes. The entity does not trade these collectors items in the ordinary course of business. So, yung ganyang collectors items daw, pwedeng i-account using PAS 40. So, 8, letter C. Kaya lang take note ha, gagamitin lang reference yung PAS 40 for accounting purposes. Pero pag ipe-present na yung mga items na yan, hindi sila investment property. Kasi hindi naman yan land, hindi naman yan building. So, gagamitin lang as reference yung PAS 40. Pero pag pinresent na yan, so, okay, so pwedeng i-present, let's say, as other non-current assets. Yan. Pero yung accounting in accordance with PAS 40. Pero as to presentation, hindi siya kasama doon sa investment properties. Kasi hindi naman siya land, hindi rin naman building. Okay, so 8, letter C. So accounting lang, but not the presentation. Okay, so yan. So that's the nature of investment property. So actually, yun ang pinaka-problema talaga dyan sa investment property. Kasi nga ang land at building pwedeng investment property, pwedeng PPE, o kaya inventory. Now, in your material, para mas ma-highlight pa nga yung mga classification issues na yan, meron kang illustrative problem dyan sa ating material. So, items considered as investment property. Okay, so take note of that. So, of course, meron na yung answer. Okay, so yung ating illustrative problem. So, now let's proceed to recognition. So, again, yung ating NRM TPD template. So, tapos na tayo sa N. Now, the R. When to recognize. Okay, so number 9, that is the recognition principle. An owned investment property shall be recognized as an asset. Okay? When and only when, ito yung dalawang criteria. Probable, measurable. So actually, walang additional criteria. Okay? So the usual criteria, probable and measurable lang. And this principle applies to all expenditures, initial and subsequent. So number 9, letter C. So what did you notice? This principle is similar to PPE. So yung recognition principle ng PPE and investment property, the same. So probable, measurable. Tapos yung principle na yon applicable to all expenditures, initial and subsequent. Okay, so that's okay, the recognition principle. Now, measurement. Okay, here's the summary. Initially, at cost. So, investment property is measured initially at cost. Subsequently, matter of policy, either fair value model or cost model. Okay, so the choice again is a matter of policy. So the benchmark model is fair value. So alternative actually is yung cost. Okay, so notice similar din sa PPE, no, yung initial measurement at cost. So doon nga lang nagkaiba doon sa subsequent. Okay, ang PPE kasi either cost or revaluation. Okay, pero yung cost model, okay, dyan sa investment property, similar. So iba nga lang yung fair value. It's different from the revaluation model. And in relation to the fair value model, number 10, which statement is incorrect? Yan. Regarding the use of fair value model. Again, yung choice cost ba or fair value? Matter of policy yan. Okay, tama itong letter A. After initial recognition, under the fair value model, an entity shall measure all of its investment property at fair value. Okay? So, kaya pagka gumamit ng fair value model, lahat ng investment properties dapat naka-fair value model yan. Okay, tama din itong letter B. So, di ba nagbabago yung fair value? Pag nag-increase ang fair value, gain yan. Pag nag-decrease ang fair value, loss naman yan. At yung gain or loss na yan, saan i-recognize yan? Profit or loss. Kaya pwede nating tawagin yung fair value model na FVTPL model. Fair value through profit or loss. Okay, so naka-fair value siya, tapos yung changes, P&L. Tama din itong letter C. There is a rebuttable presumption that an entity can reliably measure the fair value of an investment property on a continuing basis. So what does it mean? So once na-measure na ang investment property at fair value, tuloy-tuloy na ang measurement yan at fair value. Okay? So kaya mali dyan yung letter D. A change from fair value model to cost model is unlikely. Mali yung likely results. Dapat yan is unlikely. Is unlikely to result in a more relevant presentation. Napaka-unlikely na from fair value naging cost model tapos mas relevant yung info. Unlikely yan. So pwede pa cost model nag-switch to fair value. Pero yung galing sa fair value papunta sa cost model, that's unlikely. Okay, to result in a more relevant presentation. So, kaya nga sabi sa letter C, once nag-fair value model na, tuloy-tuloy na ang paggamit ng fair value model. So, actually, pwede lang maribat yung presumption nga na hindi available yung fair value at initial recognition. So, yun, pwede. Cost muna. Tapos later on, pag available na, saka na lang mag-fair value model. So, pwede yun. Cost to fair value. Pero unlikely yung fair value to cost unless talaga nawala yung hindi na talaga determinable yung fair value. And if that's the case, let's say lang in rare situation na naka-fair value siya initially. Tapos later on, hindi na available, talagang unreliable na yung fair value, magsuswitch yan to cost model. So, pero napaka-rare nun. Okay, and yung change nga na yun is unlikely to result in a more relevant presentation. Pero syempre, wala nang choice eh. So, ang mangyayari, dahil galing sa fair value model, papunta sa cost model, yung previous fair value, yun ang magiging cost niya. Okay, pag-apply ng cost model. So, pwede pa cost model tapos nag-switch to fair value. Kasi nung una, hindi available yung fair value tapos eventually naging available yan. So, pwede yun. And likely, yun ang mangyayari. Okay? Kasi it will normally lead to more relevant presentation. So, unlikely. Okay? Yung fair value to cost model. Okay? Now, Number 11 and 12. Okay? So dito mako-compare natin yung fair value and cost model. Okay. So again, yung cost model that is similar to the cost model in PAS 16 for PP. Okay. So number 11. Okay, using fair value model. The entity should, let's see, ito yung background. An entity acquired a building, and take note, for the purpose of leasing it. So clearly that building is what? Investment property. Okay, so binili siya beginning of the reporting period. Cost 50 million. Life 40 years. At the end of the reporting period, ang fair value na ng building 51 million. Okay, so by the way hindi na natin i-emphasize sa discussion natin yung initial measurement Kasi kung ano yung alam natin sa PPE, magagamit din natin yon sa investment property. So kaya kung napansin mo, hindi ko na sinama sa material yung discussion on initial measurement. So for the initial measurement, in particular yung pag-determine ng purchase price, so refer to our discussion on PPE. Similar lang. Okay? Now, so using the fair value model, the investment property carried at fair value. Okay? And under the fair value model, hindi nagre-recognize ng depreciation. Kaya mali itong letter A. Okay? And since fair value model nga, naka-fair value siya. And that is at 51 million. So kaya mali din yung letter B. Okay? So ang sagot dyan, letter C. So initially, i-record siya 50 million. No depreciation. Kaya at the end of the reporting period, prior to fair value adjustment, naka 50 million siya. Dapat 51 na at year end. So nag-increase by 1 million. So yung 1 million na yon recognized as gain. So magdi-debit ng investment property, credit, gain. So unrealized gain or fair value adjustment gain. Incidentally, yung A and B, lagyan mo ng note. So yan ang ire-report kapag yan ay cost model. Kasi under the cost model, yon nagde-depreciate. So 50 million, divide mo ng 40. So that's the annual depreciation. So since subject to depreciation, so 50 minus 1.25, ito na yung carrying amount at the end of the reporting period. And since yung fair value nga ay 51 million, the asset is not impaired. So walang i-recognize na impairment loss. So kaya naka-report siya at this amount. Okay, kaya lang, under the cost model, yung 51 million na yan is a required disclosure. So hindi katulad ng sa PPE as discussed previously. Ang PPE cost model, optional lang i-disclose ang fair value, ini-encourage lang. Pero ang investment property, okay, kahit na cost model, mandatory i-disclose ang fair value. Okay, so based on that, number 12. If the entity chooses the cost model, okay, so mali itong letter A. So kasi nga, ito na yon, dapat 48.75 million. So subject sa depreciation kasi nga, yan ay cost model. Okay? Pero kahit na yan ay cost model, kailangan i-disclose ang fair value. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. So ang sagot dyan, letter C. Okay? Yan ang kaibahan ng cost model for investment property at yung cost model for PPE. Sa PPE, optional lang yan. Ini-encourage lang kapag yung fair value ay materially different from the carrying amount. Pero sa kaya investment property, no choice yan. Kailangan i-disclose yan. Kaya actually yan nga ang nireklamo Nagreklamo yung mga preparers. Kaya nga namin pinili ang cost model para hindi na namin problemahin na i-determine yung fair value. Pero kailangan i-determine for disclosure purposes. So lagyan ng note, yung A and B, yan ay under the fair value model. So naka-fair value at year end, tapos not subject to depreciation. Okay, so yan ang cost and fair value model. So again, okay, so ang ini-encourage okay ng PAS 40, so yung fair value model. Pero kung hindi talaga pwede, then pwede naman yung cost model. Okay, and in relation, okay, doon nga sa disclosure ng fair value. Okay, so number 13. So ito muna, i-ano natin ha. Okay, compare natin. Okay, so under the fair value model, ang investment property measured siya at fair value. So yung changes in fair value, gain or loss, recognized in profit or loss. So hindi dine-depreciate yung property at hindi rin subject sa impairment. Kasi captured na actually doon sa changes in fair value kung meron mang depreciation at saka impairment. So doon na kinakapture sa changes in fair value. So under the cost model, okay, so measured siya in the same way as PPE. So that is at cost, less accumulated depreciation, less accumulated impairment losses. So similar to PPE. Ang kaibahan nga lang yung disclosure. So kasi sa PPE optional lang yan. Sa investment property required. And in relation to that, okay, number 13. PAS 40 requires all entities to, ang sagot dyan, letter A. Kailangan i-measure yung fair value ng investment property regardless of the model. Of course, kung fair value model, required yan para sa measurement. Kung cost model naman, required yan para sa disclosure. So kaya kahit anong model ang gamitin ng entity, okay, basta investment property, kailangan alamin, kailangan i-measure ang fair value. So it's either for disclosure or okay, measurement purposes. Depende sa model. Pero paano i-determine yung fair value? So refer to PFRS 13. Nasa PFRS 13 yung guidance. So, yung letter B, okay, is incorrect. Hindi required ng standard yan. So, hindi required na yung fair value determined on a basis by an independent valuer who holds a recognized and relevant professional qualification. So, hindi siya required. Okay, pero ini-encourage. So, ini-encourage siya ng standard. Okay, so again, in determining the fair value ang reference PFRS 13. So tapos ini-encourage lang, okay, na mag-engage ng independent valuer. So hindi siya required. Okay? So kaya lang kailangan i-disclose kung anong naging basis ng fair value. Whether or not nag-engage ba ng independent valuer. Okay, so 13, letter A. Okay, now, so at this point, alam na natin ang nature, recognition, measurement, initial and subsequent. Now, paano ba yung derecognition at kailan i-derecognize? Paano paano yung accounting for derecognition? So paano ba yung, let's say nagbago nga ng usage, no? So paano yung transfers to and from investment property? So paano yung mga disclosure requirements? So yan ang pag-usapan natin in the next video. Okay?